Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the farm show. Watch this, please be sure to like and subscribe. Right now, I'm in the combine cutting grain sorghum, Milo. Running the old 2188. Some of you may not be familiar with Milo. I think that's what it's called here, and I know some people will call it grain sorghum. Some of the old timers called it maize, which is funny because maize is the scientific name for corn, the Latin name for corn anyway. But anyway, my grandparents called it maize or Milo. I call it Milo or grain sorghum. Who knows what my kids will call it. But we're up here cutting up in the hills. It's some tougher ground, but it's really made a decent crop this year. And if you're not familiar with grain sorghum, it's a grass. Its scientific name is sorghum bicolor, so that's that if you want to look that up. And it comes in all shapes and sizes. Sorghum bicolor does. There are very tall ones that are utilized mostly for forage. I'd be that hay or silage, and these semi-dwarf ones are used for grain. And there's red grain, bronze grain, yellow grain, white grain, all sorts of colors in between. Mostly it's a corn substitute, kind of. I don't think we use an awful lot of it here in the United States, except for in ethanol production. A lot of it is exported to China. It's used as a feed grain over there for poultry and hogs. And it's used for a feed grain over here for poultry and hogs, but corn has mostly supplanted that here. But I've read that a duck that eats Milo has a larger gizzard than a duck that eats corn. Now, if you're a part of and in China, their culture, I guess, really likes duck gizzards. So if your culture really likes duck gizzards and you found something to feed them that makes their gizzards bigger, there you go. And I also heard they distill alcohol from the grain sorghum, which we do that here, but I think they drink it mostly over there. So anyway, that's what I'm doing today. Sorghum is a good crop in rotation. It's more drought tolerant than corn, and it's also more flood tolerant than corn. It's non-GMO, if that matters to you. They haven't put any GMOs in Milo, because if they did, it would move over into a very common weed called shattercane, which is a subspecies of sorghum bicolor. So they don't want to make any kind of traits that go into a weed that easily, because Milo will outcross with shattercane readily. Well, they're the same species, and they will cross, and then you'll have a weed with traits that you don't want a weed to have. So they have never put anything into Milo as far as GMO traits go. It's a very itchy crop. It's a nice little crop to grow, aside from the itching. and sugarcane aphids, which are some years very, very hard on Milo. They will absolutely destroy it, but as of late, they have not been a problem. Well, thanks for watching this episode of the Farm Show about Milo, and please be sure to like and subscribe again, and have a great day. Bye-bye. Dumping a load onto the cart. Well, there we have it, folks. Another cartload going to the trucks. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Alright, engage the separator. Kicked in. Get the header on. Take her up to high idle. And get that head in the crop. Come on. And we're off again. Got to get all this done so we can do corn. That is one thing that corn usually does a little bit better than Milo, and that is stand. Especially dryland corn will stand better than Milo. Milo, if you can see those fine little stalks there, Milo likes to fall over. Grubbing it up off the ground with a flex head and crop lifters or a row head or some other less than convenient form of harvesting machinery. Oh, I mean, they're not less than inconvenient. They're totally wonderful, but you'd rather not have to use them if you didn't need to, you know. It's so much nicer just to cut a standing crop. Got a few pigweeds in there.